Welcome to the Profits in Pajamas podcast. I'm Danielle Detiege, or Coach Danni D, and I help women to create luxury brands by creating processes and tightening their branding. This is where we talk about how to build your business in a way that allows you to work with ease and enjoy your life. My happy space is spending as much time as humanly possible in my pajamas, and I want to help others to find their happy space while still running profitable businesses. So get comfortable and let's dig in. Hello and welcome to the next episode of the Profits in Pajamas podcast. I am Coach Danni D of Workflow, and I am a luxury brand coach that is always here helping small businesses play big. So, as a luxury brand coach, I help business owners to take their creative ideas and their creative businesses and develop those into luxury brands and sustainable businesses. I have a philosophy of working with ease. And so that's where the concept of the Profits in Pajamas podcast came about, just to focus on the fact that as an entrepreneur, we don't have to be constantly grinding. We can be strategic and intentional, and we can work with ease. So, welcome to today's podcast. Today, I want to talk about a topic that's near and dear to me. And I'll share a little bit of a story of why it's important to me. And I'll also share with you guys something that is new that's come out as a result of that. So today's topic is removing the idea of booked and busy and replacing that with paid and well rested. So let me tell you the story of how um, it kind of came about, because I did a video previously, separate from the podcast, about booked, busy, and broke. And how it came about, how the topic, just became important to me, was because I was in a Facebook group, and there was a young lady that was new to balloons. And if you don't know, I also have a balloon decor company. I have a luxury balloon company. And she had done a design, and she was asking the group, how much would you charge for this design? And so there were a lot of people in the group who said kind of lower prices. And this particular group has a lot of people in it that are not necessarily um, balloon artists, I don't want to say exclusively, but just they may dabble in it, but not necessarily that's their business. So a lot of times I see lower numbers than the industry standards being put out in the group. So I gave the young lady the price that I would have charged for that same design. And so the young lady said, thank you. But another young lady comes in behind her and says, oh my God, at that price, you probably never booked. And I thought that was a very interesting thing to say to me, because in that moment, I realized when people are, really getting caught up in this booked and busy, the idea of being booked is outweighing being profitable. Being booked is great, but my definition of being booked is not booked and busy. My definition of being booked is not dependent on me constantly working. It's not dependent on me constantly having people booked to where I am overwhelmed with bookings. And I think that that's what a lot of people are striving for, is that they have a large number of bookings. But I want to challenge you to look at that a little bit differently, because what is the point of being booked and busy if you're not also being paid? Meaning, there's nothing wrong with, let's say you have a full schedule, and your full schedule might look different than mine. Your full schedule might be 20 jobs, and my full schedule might be 5. We're entitled to make our schedule how we want it to be. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with having a full schedule. But if the reason that you have a full schedule is because each job is paying so low that you can't afford to not have a full schedule, then it's time to start reevaluating. It's time to start thinking about it differently. Because if you're booked and busy, your bank account should be full. You shouldn't be booked and busy and still struggling. You shouldn't be booked and busy and broke. And you definitely shouldn't be booked to the point that you're sacrificing your health and your self care. And that's what I see a lot. That's what I see promoted a lot in business in general, not just in the events industry, but just in business in general. I see a big promotion of constantly working, constantly grinding, constantly. And that's not a healthy business model. It's not a sustainable business model. And to be honest, this might not be the smartest business model, because you could be doing that same amount of work and making more money if you really looked at your numbers and looked at how you needed to be, how you needed to price to be more profitable. But it also gives you the option, when you're pricing to be profitable, it gives you the option to ease up a little bit so that you're not constantly in grind mode. Your business should not live in grind mode. When you're starting, yeah, you there's a lot of stuff that you have to do to get to, that level off point. Sometimes when you're launching something new, or when you're having a shift in your business, there's that, like kind of grind that's going on. But if that's the constant of your business, if you've been in business for any, length of time, and that has never leveled out, it's time for you to take a moment and take a step back and look at what you're doing and how could you be doing it differently. So how can you be strategic about what you're doing to make sure that you are doing the things that are going to make your business profitable, make your business grow, and make your book look different, make your book look and feel different, because then you're not overbooked just to make ends meet. You're not overwhelmed in your business. You can flow through your business without feeling that feeling of being overwhelmed. So that's, just something that's really important, to get out there, because I see so many business owners burn out because they're at this pace that is not sustainable. And if they're not looking at their numbers, and, go back to the podcast from last month, and where we talk about, pricing for profit. We had Tiffany McKinney come on and we talked about that. We have talked about setting your business goals and knowing your numbers. So go back and catch those episodes, guys, because I want you to get intimately involved with your numbers, know where you are, know when you're making a profit, so that you can move differently in your business, so that you're not sitting here doing, 100 jobs, and you're still not making the money that somebody else is doing 10 jobs. It doesn't make sense. It's not it's not setting yourself up for success. And you may decide after you figure out in the numbers and everything, you may decide that you still want to do those 100 jobs, but now the way your bank account is looking with those 100 jobs is something totally different. So if next, if you do those 100 jobs this week and next week you just decide, I want to go take vacation, you can do that because you can afford to do that. So I want you to start thinking about that differently. And the one thing I think that stuck in my mind when the young lady said that was just thinking about looking at what metrics matter. So metrics is how you calculate your success, how you just or how you calculate your progress, right? So you hear people say a lot of times likes and payments are not the same. You may have a bunch of likes and a bunch of followers, but if that's not converting into payments, the same thing is true is about having bookings. So if you're paying attention to how many events you have, but you're not paying attention to how much money you're making, then you're looking at the wrong thing. Because I mean, if I'm charging $5 for something that I really should be charging 500 for, oh, I will be booked. I will have so many customers at that price. But is that a positive thing? Because I'm leaving so much of my profit on the table. I'm actually paying people to do business with them. So I just want you to start thinking more thoughtfully that way and thinking about what does booked look like for me? And what does that mean financially? So when I put the two together, when those two things converge, that's when you know you have that right price point, when you are charging enough that you can take a break, when you're charging enough that you don't have to grind, that you can work with ease. So I told you I would share something with you guys. So I always do the podcast in my pajamas because that's the name of the podcast. Um, but this week I'm a little modified. I have on my pajamas, but underneath you can't see too well the whole shirt. I have on my rested and well paid shirt. So it has booked and busy crossed out and then paid and well rested at the bottom. So if you follow me at Your Workflow on Instagram, or if you go to my coach DanniD.com website, you can purchase the shirt. It does come in white, gray, and black right now. So we're doing pre-sales for the shirt. So I'm going to put that in the bio as well for those of you that are listening via podcast, so you're not seeing the visual. I will have that in the bio of both versions. So I want you to get to that paid and well rested life, which is also, that profits and pajamas life. So I want you to really think about, what does your booked and busy look like? What does that mean? Or are you just through with it like I am? And, I've crossed the line through it because I'm through with it. I'm not looking to be booked and busy. I'm looking to be paid and well rested. And I would like for you to, reach that as well in your life, whatever that looks like. And your version of that may not be the same as my version, but I want you to find that version where you are, having a growing and sustainable business, but also being able to enjoy your life. So that's what I have for you today. If you're looking for help in trying to get to that, paid and well rested lifestyle, go to my website, coachdannid.com. I have my luxury brand masterclass. I'm sorry, my luxury brand 6-week intensive is actually starting today. So if you're interested, you can sign up. If you catch this at a later time, it's going to be enrollment. It'll be open through Friday. But if you catch it later than that, then just still go to the page, which is you can go to coachdannid.com. On the homepage, there's a link to it, but also we offer it quarterly, so you can come back and sign up for the waiting list so that we can get you in the next round, or you can see what other programs may be a good fit for you. If you're not sure, you know you need help, but you're not sure, then book a discovery call. We can talk about what your next steps are so that we can get you to paid and well rested. So have a great rest of your day. And I will see you next week with another episode of Profits in Pajamas. Thank you for listening to the Profits in Pajamas podcast. I hope you got some great tips to start working with ease. Want to stay connected? Follow me at Your Workflow on Instagram. For more information about building your luxury brand, register for my upcoming luxury brand workshop at coachdannid.com.